There are a lot of fantasies we always wish we could act on, from punching your boss to talking back to your parents, but nothing beats bullies. This is why we have the best anime moments where the bullies got what they deserve. Number 10, Ruruka gets killed, Danganronpa.
裏切られたくないの。だから裏切られる前にルルカが裏切るの。頭では分かってるの。
And to start this list, we're gonna get pretty goddamn dark with Danganronpa. Starting off as a popular video game, it's evolved into an equally popular anime, and we're gonna be looking at the brutal side of Ruruka, bully extraordinaire. The girl goes mad with despair and begins to stab herself repeatedly. And to stop her screams, she puts some candy in her mouth. In the end, it wasn't the blood loss, but choking on that candy that ended her life.
裏切られたくないの。だから裏切られる前にルルカが裏切るの。
Brutal as it seems, it's a self-inflicted tragedy from her own actions. Ruruka was awful to everyone. From killing her best friend Izayo to her boyfriend, the girl was always on this idea that she was right. When she finally saw herself for what she was, she couldn't handle it. The people who used to comfort her are gone because of her. There's no one left and no reason for her to go on. Number 9, Aki Honda, Shadow Star. Well, the gruesomeness continues with Shadow Star, our next target of hate, Aki Honda. The anime can safely be described as one of, if not the most gruesome and dark anime out there. And let's not even get into the manga. So of course, this scene starts with Aki reminiscing about the horrible things she did to Hiroko, after which a monster of nightmares pops out, kills her brother, and then, well, let's just say the worms are the kinder things done to her.
あらまあ、優等生のくせにサボりはダメですよ。さあ、学校行こっか。
Dark as this is, many will say she absolutely had it coming. Aki loved tormenting others, and what she suffered just now wasn't an act of random violence, but just dessert for the test tube incident, and that's frankly all I could say considering I don't want this video demonetized. Overall, Aki is just a one-note villain, but because that one note is pure evil, we'll take some satisfaction in her death. Number 8, Rika hits Bully with a chair, Higurashi when they cry, Rei.
こっちよこっち。どうしたのリカちゃま。
What is it with high school children and creators putting them through hell? Higurashi When They Cry, Rei, is about Rika, a girl who finally gets some peace and quiet, only for fate to stick its nose in and ruin things. We'll be talking about the infamous chair scene. Rika is just reading her book in class when the blonde boy Satoko once again torments Rika by taking her book. Having had enough, she tosses a chair at the blondie before finding another and proceeding to beat her with it.
いい加減あんたのその甲高い声にもイラついてきたわ。以後私の半径1メートル以内に入ったら言い訳なしで即ぶん殴るからそのつもりで。
This scene kind of feels like pure relief for many anime fans who wish they could have done that to their bully. While the incident might seem small, it's a series of bullying that causes Rika to snap and reminds Sakura not to talk when they can't walk the walk. It's definitely a scene that's gone down in anime history. Number 7, Berlinetta breaks Bullies' vivid strike.
何？全部終わりでいい。
And once again, I have to say it, what is it with brutal violence in children in anime? This is the 4th one! Anyhow, the show's about Fuka Reventon and her path as a fighter, but this scene will focus on Berlinetta and the casual way she walks towards 3 girls, proceeds to break one of their arms and smash the other 2 to a pulp. Now that might sound brutal and random, but the context is that those jerks were constant bullies to her and were always the reason she couldn't be there for her grandfather's passing.
この野郎。 あ
After hearing all that, you'd think that alone was enough of a justification. But there's more. It's about the arrogance of these bullies. The way they continue to torment others because they're allowed to get away with it. Even though they know Berlinetta's a fighter, they still pull this because they thought themselves untouchable. Now, they're on the ground. Number 6, Kiru gets his revenge, redo of healer.
レナード、一体何のつもり？
レナード、俺のことか？ヒール。
ワンワン。
Okay, you heard everything you could about this one. You've seen the memes and you've read the threads. This is basically the H anime, but does count on the list. Kiru's been through hell and back, and after discovering some time travel stunt, he gets his revenge. For this, we'll be talking about the scene when the princess, where he begins to break her fingers one by one and promises to let her go if she doesn't scream, but as they get to the last one, he heals the hand and starts again, plus some other things.
次はフレアに礼をする番だ。役付けにして犬扱いした礼をな。
待ってください、キアルさん。
There's some good light in this. The show has no redeemable characters. Everyone there is awful, including the protagonist, but that's also why the pain they suffer feels justified. The princess was absolutely awful to him, torturing the guy, keeping him imprisoned, and more. The horrors he inflicts are just the taste of her own medicine. Number 5, Ains kills Clementine, Overlord.
これがハンデの正体だ。要するに、お前ごとき相手は私が本気で。
Now it's time for the most famous skeleton in anime to get a chance to shine. This little revenge quest features Ains in his battle against Clementine, and let me tell you, it ain't pretty. Clementine goes on and on, boasting about her skill before doing absolutely no damage to the guy. After which, Ains mocks her, stating he isn't using magic, and then proceeds to crush her in the most brutal bear hug in anime history.
剣で死ぬのも、へし折られて死ぬのも、潰れて死ぬのも、大した違いはないだろう。同じ死だ。
It was a brutal murder and death, but it's one Clementine deserved. Ains is no saint, but he does care for Nina, and Clementine basically brutalized the poor soul. Not because she had to, but because she wanted to. This revenge wasn't only to kill her, but to remind her that she's a small fry, not worth any iota of effort, that Ains didn't even bother with magic against her. Number 4, Yatsumura kills Bullies, magical girl sight.
だったらこんな生ゴミ早く殺せばいいのに。殺すって。そうね。例えばこんな風にして。
Magical girls are cute, but the way they work absolutely involves them committing some kind of war crime. In this anime, however, it's plain old murder with Yatsumura, our punching bag of a heroine, and I wish I was joking. Her form of revenge is more accidental, as after finding a strange-looking gun, she gets bullied by the usual trope of jerks, and after murdering her animal friend, she blasts them and is horrified to find they were found dead on some tracks.
捕まえた。
たくせは焼かせんな。
先輩頼むよ。
This scene has all the stuffing to make a good revenge scene and adds even more sympathy to Yatsumura because she truly didn't mean to kill them. However, you don't feel so bad for the bullies because those jerks were monsters, torturing the poor girl, violating her, and just killing a damn cat, man. That's low. Either way, don't mess with the magical girl, no matter the genre. Number 3, Dog Bully Massacre, Elfin Lied.
人間じゃないのは人じゃないのはお前らの方だ。
They say kids can be cruel, and this scene really proves it. Elfin Lied has some dark stuff going on, but these jerks went to a level no fictional character will tolerate, hunting a dog. Lucy watches as these kids mess with her dog just because they feel like it. Realizing just what monsters they are and seeing the life fade from the dog, she snaps. In an instant, everyone in that room is red-paced, and the only thing we could feel is some good old satisfaction.
泣けよ。泣いてお願いしてみろよ。でないとお前の代わりに犬が痛い目に遭う。
Oof, this scene has a lot going for it, as Lucy is initially unwilling to hurt them, realizing that the reason they do this is that they're unsatisfied with themselves and need to hurt someone they see as inferior. It was the simultaneous anger, betrayal, and loss that made her snap, and the instant kill is somehow more unnerving than prolonged punishment. Number 2, Maru fights back, Durarara.
3
主犯は誰？指さして。3、2、1。
Now, let's get to some of the more classic forms of bullying. Lost art now replaced by internet trolls, and that's all thanks to Durarara. The scene starts rather suddenly when Mairo Orihara notices her desk covered with scribbles. YouTube won't let me say out loud. Needless to say, that's some disrespect, and no Orihara is going to take that. Once she finds the leader, she tosses those tacks at her to stop, and then says something truly chilling. She wants to be their friend.
じゃあちょっとトイレでお話し合いしよっか。私ね、聞いてねえ、私ね、名前も知らないあなたとすっごく仲良くなりたくなっちゃった。
Now, this may seem like some comedic antics, and it is a little bit. Maru isn't taking them seriously, but she can't let this slide. The immediate threat to the girl and quick retrieval of the tack before it went in her mouth shows her professionalism and skill, letting them know messing with her is a mistake. This was Maru still playing, but we get a hint at what she could have done to those bullies. Number 1, Kanao fights back, magical girl raising project.
してるんだけど不況でね。うん？どうした？そんな怖い顔で。
Magical girls have it rough in this new economy, from death games to bullies to perverts, and Kanoa here has to deal with it all. This particular bully punishment isn't reserved for one jerk, but the many that Kana's had to deal with. Hell, it starts with her as a child with boys, later against some jealous girls, and then once again against her pervert of a stepdad. Each time they assume things about Kanao, and each time they get the stuffing kicked out of them.
ちょっと可愛いからっていい気になってんじゃない？アホくさ。何それ？あんたも母親みたいに男とうっかい引っかいしてるんでしょ？
These scenes do what's important. Tell us about Kanao. She never starts these fights. Hell, she doesn't even want to be in them. But the cruelty and apathy of these jerks make her have to teach them, and there's some tragedy in a girl who wants to be left alone in a world that wishes to judge her. Because of just the sheer brutality and satisfaction, it's number 1 in our list of the best anime moments where the bullies got what they deserve.